Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be answering your questions that you've sent in on Instagram all about weight loss and how I've gone about my journey and how it's happened for me and what's worked and what hasn't worked. So I thought I would ask you what you want to know from me. I did ask earlier in the week, like a week ago, and the question box deleted itself. So I had to post again today, so I'm sorry if you did post a question a while back and I've not found it or you haven't managed to post in again. So there's lots of noises going on here, so I've got the fan on, I've got the window open because it's sweating like a heat wave. Question box. Let's start from the, there's lots. How did you deal with being disheartened when sticking to the plan and not losing weight due to PCOS? So this is a tough one because I got diagnosed with PCOS 2 years ago now. I've always struggled with my weight, but I didn't know I had PCOS until we were struggling with fertility, and it was kind of the first test the doctors wanted to put me through to check, which came back positive. So this last week I hadn't lost as much as I thought after sticking to my diet and my exercise plan, and like you do get disheartened just for a second, and then you kind of realise you've got to look at the bigger picture, and it's not just about that week. You know, your body doesn't know that you fed it good foods that Saturday to Saturday or that whatever. It's gonna just happen over time. So you usually find, or I usually find, especially with PCOS and stuff, that if I've had like a bad loss one week, but I know I've been really good and I've continued to be good the following week, the weight's gonna come off the following week. So the biggest thing I would say to you is to just carry on. Don't let it get you down, because you've got to look at the bigger picture. It's not just about that week. Make sure you're taking photos as well. Measurements I did at the beginning, but I've never really done after that because I just didn't found that they worked for me. It was hard to get the tape in the right place every single time and know that you're doing it right. So yeah, you've got to just roll with it with PCOS. You've got to be tough. You've got to, it will happen. It just might take a little bit longer than you kind of think, or that how it's happening for the next person without PCOS. PS, found you recently through Sophie. That's Sophie Payne. If you don't know, we've done a video recently together and she's amazing on Instagram and YouTube as well. And I think you're both the support I needed regarding PCOS. Thank you, your lush. Well, thank you. I really appreciate those messages because this is all new to me still, really. I haven't lived with this my entire life. So I'm just learning as I'm going along and just sharing it with you guys, and I'm learning from you and you're learning from me, and yeah, we're all just helping each other out. Do you find strength/weight training burns more calories than cardio or a HIIT workout? It depends. Like, if I'm going to the gym or training weights and I know I'm only going to be lifting and I won't do like cardio or like a finisher or any high rep stuff, then probably not. I know the days that I deadlift or I squat super heavy, even if I'm doing 3 reps, I'm burning so many more calories than if I'm doing like a different exercise that isn't as tasking on my like cardiovascular system. But cardio is always going to burn more calories in a shorter space of time, generally because your heart rate's higher for a longer period of time. But I wouldn't necessarily say that's better. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one because you don't want to like. I like to mix it up. I don't do just one type of exercise because I want to be strong, but I want to be lean. And I want to be fit as well, so obviously the cardio and the HIIT stuff comes into play for me to improve on my fitness. but knowing that I'm burning calories by lifting weights is gonna keep me toned, and like I haven't lost all the weight in a quick succession to then have to work on weight training to tone up afterwards. It's been like a nice gradual strength building, getting strong, getting lean, getting toned, all in one go. So it depends what you're doing, but I've done spin in the past, and I've done obviously weight sessions, and honestly it's about the same. I think it depends on your fitness, and someone that's fitter is definitely going to burn less calories than someone that's more unfit, because your heart rate is going to be higher for a long period of time, and it's going to be easier for you to get your heart rate up if you are more unfit. Do you ever struggle with finishing workouts? At the beginning I started and fainted. Oh, so when you started training. I have wanted to stop. Like there's been some days where I've been like, oh God, I can't do this, but I just persevere and get through it and get it done. I've never like passed out or anything like that. That sometimes maybe can happen if you're not eating enough or if you're not hydrated enough. Yeah, that's a tough one. I've never struggled with that, but if I'm not feeling it, then there's some days where I go to the gym and I'm not feeling it. It's rather than pushing myself too far where I get, tipped over the edge. How many calories do you eat per day? Right, so I aim for around 1200 calories a day. That works for me. This isn't what everyone should do. I didn't get to that point quickly. It took a lot of time. So if anybody is interested in calorie counting, I would recommend that you maybe track everything you're having currently. Everything. Little bite of cake, little packet of crisps, little everything. Put it in your day, see what you're having. If that's 2,000 calories, if it's 2,500 calories, if it's 1,500 calories, and you're not losing weight, drop them just by 100 to 200 calories a day, and then weigh at the end of the week, see if the weight drops. If you plateau, drop them again. But yeah, don't rush to a really low calorie diet straight away, because it's unhealthy and not sustainable, because you won't be happy doing it. No, I wouldn't be. How many grams of carbs do you have per day? So I aim for between 50 and 70, which isn't a lot, and that is due to me having PCOS, and to lose weight with PCOS, for me, I have to be on a reduced carb diet. So I still eat bread, I still eat pasta, I still eat rice, just not every day, and not in big portions. There's really easy swaps out there to make. I have a lot of courgette spaghetti, which is great. Broccoli rice is really good, or cauliflower rice, but again, cauliflower is slightly more in carbs than broccoli. They're just things you learn, because everything has got a carb content or carb value to it, even fruits and veggies, which is generally why I stay more clear of fruits, but that is just because of the insulin resistance that you have, or you can have, with PCOS. Could you do a video of some of your workouts and explain the exercises? If this is something that you would be interested in, I will start doing some more like tutorial-y type videos, so let me know in the comments. How did you find the right diet and exercise levels for you? So I knew I had to work really hard to lose weight. Like, I've been on and off diets my entire life. Yeah, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done Slim World, I've done everything like that, and they just don't work for me. So when I was told that I needed to lose the weight, obviously for the IVF, I went to my personal trainer, Lewis, who's absolutely great. I'll put his details in the description box below, because he does online plans and stuff too. And we just worked out kind of where I needed my calories to be and what I needed to do to go forward to lose the weight in such. It was a relatively short space of time, the first bit of weight that came off. But exercise-wise, I kind of did it myself. I wanted to do something every day, because I just felt it was better to be in a routine of doing something than getting to a point where I'd not done anything for a couple of days and then it was an effort, or yeah, it was hard work to get back into. So I kind of made it a daily routine for me. And at the beginning, I did a lot of classes, so it was just easier for me to go and be with an instructor and do a class, whatever it was that day, boxing or circuits or body. I did body pump once, I hated it. It was not for me at all. Whatever it was, you know, yeah, I just picked and chose what I wanted to do, which is what I'd advise for you as well. Like, just start where you feel comfortable and just build from there. Are you frustrated you had to lose weight to receive fertility treatment? At the beginning, I was really pissed off because I didn't understand. I was like, this BMI is bullshit, like, it's really backwards, it's really this, that and the other. But in the same breath, I totally understood that they couldn't accept everybody on, it's a funding thing, and you know, it's not just for fertility treatment, it's for a lot of different surgeries and stuff that they have these criteria. So yeah, to start with, I was really frustrated, but do you know what, when I knew that that was it and I couldn't fight it, they were never going to turn around to me and go, oh, actually, yeah, you can go through. You can't just have one rule for one and not for everyone else. I just got my head down and got it done, and that was what I needed to do, and you know, that's kind of how we got to where we are now. Do you think having a healthy, active husband helped you stick to it more easily? Wow. I think I've helped him be more active. He's just a naturally slim person. He plays football for fun, and he's like naturally fit and stuff, so I know, bloody typical. I think being able to do some things together has been easier, but we've been together since we were at school, so it's kind of like we've had the same food our entire life and stuff, and I've had to learn that it doesn't have to be that way, or I can have different food, or I can have a different, you know, we can have the same like meat bit but have different carbs or different veggies or whatever. But no, I don't think Mark's like made, I don't want to say he hasn't made much of a difference in my journey because he's done it for me, but yeah, I think it has been nice to do bits with him, like bits of training and stuff, but he's not naturally like that. What was your biggest struggle on your weight loss journey? Sometimes I lose my mojo with it. Sometimes I'm not motivated at all. I just was like, yeah, whatever now, I'm gonna eat this or whatever. So usually if I lose my mojo and then I've got to get back on it after that, that's usually pretty tough. But other than that, I think I've had a pretty steady journey so far. What weights should I buy to start weight training? Need some guidance. This is hard because I don't know what level you're at. I don't know what you do normally. Some easy, really versatile pieces of kit are like resistance bands. Those are super cheap. You can do loads of work with those. So that isn't overly difficult. May you finish my cup of tea off, please, Mark? Sure. There was a question just that says, do you think having a healthy, active husband has helped you stick to it more easily?
They've been deluded. I've tricked them.
You've tricked them. I've put you across really well.
Thank you.
Even like a kettlebell is pretty easy. Back to the question. Like a medium weight kettlebell, whatever you're comfortable with, or just a pair of dumbbells, because there's so many exercises you can do with those versatile pieces of kit. What is your typical day of food? Check out my vlogs because those will have all my food sort of stuff in. But I'll normally wake up, coffee, water, train or walk, and then have lunch, and I'll have meal prepped lunch. So it'll either be like turkey mince with veggies, like stir fry, or chicken and veg. And then dinner again is usually like a meat and some kind of like, it wants to be like a nice spaghetti bolognese, but really it's like turkey bolognese with courgette spaghetti. You know what I mean? Like it's a dinner, but I've just made it healthy. Loads of veg on the side, always veg. Oh, and someone else has asked what a typical day of food looks like as well. So yeah, go back and watch my vlogs, my weekly vlogs, because I try and log all my food on there so you can get an idea of the kind of things that I have. Easy exercises to do at home. I mean, there's so many people out there right now doing online like live workouts and stuff, so following just something like that. If you're, again, it's hard because I don't know what level you're at. If you're a beginner with like exercising and stuff, basic squats, like squatting on and off the sofa, making sure you've got support, star jumps, you know, basic movements that are going to get your heart rate up and going to keep you moving for a certain period of time. Just do like, say, 40 seconds on, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds rest. Do 3 rounds and then have a minute rest and see how you feel. Tips for intermittent fasting. So I intermittent fast, which basically just means I stop eating at night time, at like after dinner, and then I will not eat again until the next day on like lunchtime. It's essentially a fancy way of saying I skip breakfast. So I will have a coffee in the morning. If you're doing it properly, you're not supposed to have anything with a calorific content. Calorific? What's the word? Caloric. Anything with a calorie in, so you shouldn't have milk technically, but I do. So I don't do it properly. But yeah, basically if you're gonna do it, you're not supposed to have calories, but I've never done it like that, so.
I have been shit.
There you go then. Did you used to do Slimming World for a while? What did you think of it? For me, PCOS and Slimming World don't mix well because the amount of carbs or free food you can have on Slimming World just didn't work for me. I've done Slimming World loads of times and it's just, yeah, I think I'm doing well and I lose like 4 or 5 pounds and then that's it. And literally like £5 in money every week. Yeah, not for me. But if it works for you, if it's an easier way for you to understand the calorie deficit, then that's fine. But I was still finding I was counting the calories I was having even on the Slimming World plan. Do you know what I mean? So in the end, I just decided to cut the middleman and do it myself. I did the SP for a while, which is basically where you have no carbs. And I'm like, do you know what? That's what I'm doing anyway. I don't need help. So like, yeah, I just didn't find it. I found my community online so much more helpful than these people in the groups because I just didn't understand what I was specifically going through with like PCOS and stuff. How are we able to work out how many calories you need to eat a day? Again, like I said before, I tracked everything I was having and then I just reduced them. There is going to be special calculators out there online, so maybe just Google calorie calculator. I'm not sure, but I tracked all my calories and then just reduced them down by like 100 to 200 a day to see where I was at until I started losing weight, essentially. Do you cut all carbs or have some rice, noodles, etc.? I don't cut anything out personally. If I want it, I'll have it and I'll track it, but I will only have, you know, if I'm having a curry, say, and I want rice, I'll have rice, but I'll track it. And I know that some days my carbs will be over because I've had that, or I've had a sandwich, or I've had potatoes or whatever. But yeah, no, I generally don't have many real carbs, as in like potatoes, oats, rice, noodles, whatever. But if I want it, I will have it. Does that make sense? How to start training? Do you do cardio as well? I try and do a mixture because I want to stay fit as well. And when I started, like I said earlier, I started with classes just because it made me feel more comfortable while I was getting my fitness up and having a bit of guidance from somebody. And I know that's hard right now because gyms aren't open and stuff, but even if you're just following along on like a Facebook Live or an Insta Live workout, or following some of the exercises I've done in the past, yeah, I just think like actually getting your foot in the door and actually doing it is the biggest hurdle. And as soon as you are in the routine of doing it and getting out for a walk, a run, or doing a workout, you're gonna just, you will get there, like long as you persevere. How do you keep motivated? So that's a tough one because I'm not always motivated. I do have like off days and off weeks or whatever. Generally, if I get out of a routine, that's when I lose my motivation and my mojo and stuff. But staying busy and staying in this routine, meal prepping helps me so much. Having a plan when I work out helps me so much. You know, knowing what I'm gonna do rather than waking up in the morning and going, we've got nothing cooked for lunch, I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner, I don't know what I'm gonna work out today. Having a plan helps move my motivation so much. And obviously when I first started, the motivation was to have IVF. So that was the biggest motivation I needed. And now it's kind of like a challenge. Like, I want to challenge myself. I've never got this far before. I'm now at a weight where I haven't been since I was about 17, 18. So I'm quite intrigued to see what the next stage is, or the next part of this journey that I can get to. Yeah, I'm quite excited to see what it is for me, which is my motivation. Has there been any times that you've slipped and gained rather than lost? All the time. Like, I have, like, I'll put up my chart, my weight loss chart, and we'll talk about it. My chart shows you that I've been using MyFitnessPal since 2012 on and off. So it starts like, and it just shows you every time I've started to want to lose weight, and I've just logged a weight, and it's literally just gone up and up and up and up and up and up over the years until I started this weight loss in January last year, which was 2019. And it's like down, straight, a little bit up, down, straight, down, across, down. And it's like, my weight loss hasn't been like a straight line down over time. It's took, you know, I've had a life. I've took a longer time to lose the weight because I've had a life in between. You know, I've gone out on nights out, I've gone out for food, I've had what I've wanted as well at the same time, and I think that's been the way I've been able to sustain what I've been doing. So the answer to that is yes, I have gained over time. It's no biggie, you just get back up and do it again, you know, it is what it is. Do you allow yourself a cheat day each week? Yes, but I try and make it just one meal rather than a whole day. So it just makes me more in control, because, you know, if you went out for breakfast and then had, went out for lunch and dinner and then had drinks on top of that, you're spending 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories, and it's, you know, that's like nearly all my week's worth of calories spent in a day. So I tend to just stick to one meal, and that works for me. What do you think created the biggest change? If you mean in terms of like me getting going, it was definitely the fact that I was told I had to lose the weight for IVF. That was the biggest thing that had changed in my mind. And then after that, it was just like hitting new PBs with my weightlifting. It was getting to 80, 90, 100 kilo deadlift. And then it was, I'm still working on towards my pull-up, my first ever pull-up, which I've not done. And I can do push-ups now. This is the first time in my life I've ever been able to do a press-up, and it's just about hitting those sorts of goals, you know. Keep something in your mind that you want to achieve that isn't too far away, and I think as soon as you like are knocking down goals and you're smashing targets that you're setting yourself, it keeps you motivated and keeps you wanting to do more. What size were you prior, and how did you start off calorie-wise? So I started at about a UK size 16. Some things I had were an 18 if they were uncomfortable or whatever. And I'm now in a size 10, which is so exciting. And again, like I said, it's about the calories. It was tracking everything and then reducing them down. But 1200 has been my little golden number. But again, that's PCOS life, and with PCOS, you don't burn as many calories naturally. Like, not me sitting here doing nothing burns less calories than Mark sitting there, or somebody next to me, another woman that hasn't got PCOS. They'll be burning nearly double the amount of calories I will naturally. So I have to eat so much less to make the same difference as the next person. So it's pretty shitty if you've got PCOS. Can you give an example of what you might eat in a day? Again, back to my vlogs. All my food stuff is in my vlogs, but I will generally eat 2 big meals a day and then snacks in between. I do stay away from fruit though these days. Although I have been having these yogurts that you'll see on my vlogs, these high protein yogurts. They're 95 calories, 17 grams of protein, and we put frozen raspberries in them, and they're so good as a snack. But yeah, like raspberries are the only fruit I'll eat really, and blueberries, strawberries. Berries are the only fruit I'll eat really, as like a snack anyway. And then I'll either eat, like my first meal of the day will be around lunchtime, and again it'll either be like the meal prep that I've made for the week, or it'll be like eggs with like a tomatoey sauce. We call them pizza eggs. Maybe I'll do that as a recipe because it is wonderful. And then again I'll have a good dinner on the night as well. How long did it take to lose 4 stone? So I hit the 4 stone mark after 18 months, which is a long time. I had a really long period in the middle where I wasn't really doing much. And it was actually like last summertime where I'd kind of hit my 3 stone, 3.5 stone, and then it was like, yeah, just mosey on through now really, just stayed the same for ages. And then obviously we had lockdown and stuff, but towards the end of lockdown I really just started to get my ass in gear and just get it down, get it off. What was your start weight? I started at 15 stone 1, which was the heaviest I've ever been at the time, so yeah. When did you notice it? I've lost 5 stone and still can't see a difference in my body. I probably noticed it after about 2 stone, 3 stone, but I think the fact that I had been weight training and my body composition was changing other than just losing weight, I think that helped a lot. I think everybody's different in that respect, aren't they? How did you get in the mindset to keep going? I tried for a few days and then can't be bothered. Honestly, you have to want to do it. Because like I said earlier, I have tried, I have done the diets, I have been around the diets, and something clicked in me knowing that I couldn't have a baby without this weight loss. Yeah, that was the biggest motivation, and I just realised that I'd never wanted it enough before. You know, I was happy I could still get married, I could still go on nights out, I could still buy clothes, I could still do whatever. I didn't need to lose weight. I was happy. Clearly, I just needed to give myself, I just needed a reason, and that was the reason. It just come at the right time for me. I didn't think it would ever be possible for me to lose this much weight, and I'm absolutely so proud of myself for getting this far. What exercises do you do? PS, I love watching your journey. Thank you very much. I do a lot of weight training, so lifting heavy weights, big compound movements, squats, deadlifts, trying for pull-ups, bench press, but then I'll do like high intensity finishers, so battle ropes, skipping, kettlebell swings, burpees, you know, the horrible stuff. Yeah, those are the exercises I like doing. I don't run or anything, that is not for me. No sir, running life's not for me. I do like going on my bike, but again, it's not my favourite, and it's like effort, do you know what I mean? PCOS causes me to bloat, so no loss on the scales after hard work. How do you deal with this? Again, like I said right at the beginning, it was like the first question I answered. PCOS is a bitch, and like, long as you're aware that these things can happen. I know it's so hard after you've tried really hard. I had the same, like last week, I tried really hard and I weighed in on Saturday, and I just was like, well, how have I only lost like 0.4 pounds? This is so rubbish. I've tried so hard, and weight loss it doesn't know the days you're on. It doesn't understand. If you know that you bloat because you eat carbs, or if you eat a certain vegetable, or if you eat whatever, it might be worth looking at cutting that out or cutting it down, and then upping your water intake. Even supplements like Inofolic or the inositol's the ingredient that's a really good supplement for people with PCOS, so maybe give that a little try. But yeah, being disheartened because of, you know, when you worked really hard is really shitty, and you just have to know that it's not your fault and that it's PCOS, and that you've got to just keep moving forward, pushing on, and get on the scales the next week and see what happens then. Take it 1 week at a time if you can. Do you eat three main meals or smaller meals more often? I eat like 2 big meals and a snack, 2 snacks, whatever I'm feeling that day, whatever fits into my calories, but generally it's like 2 meals. I completely plateaued once I hit 70 kilos. Did you have to change things up as you lost more weight? Yes. So it was so easy at the beginning, easy. When I got to a certain weight, I say a certain weight, when I'd lost like 2 stone, it got really hard. So I was on probably, at the beginning I was probably on 1400 calories, and I had to drop them again, and then I upped my weight training as well. But if you have lost quite a bit of weight, and if you're weight training, it could be muscle mass. So if your body composition's changing, if you're losing body fat and the weight isn't changing on the scales, I wouldn't be too worried about it. How I'm desperate to lose weight. Honestly, you've got to want to do it. you've got to be in a calorie deficit and you've got to move your body. So unfortunately, there's no magic cure, there's no magic pill, there's no easy way around this. It's hard work, consistency, and bloody just honestly hard work. You've got to prep your food, prep your meals, make sure you've always one step ahead with having food ready. Make sure you're eating the calorie deficit. So again, like I said, track your calories, reduce the calories, make sure you're hitting at least 10,000 steps a day, which is, you know, that burns a lot of calories if you're not getting a workout in as well. And then potentially start looking at other exercises that you can do as well. That's it in a nutshell. Do you include cardio in your training? Sometimes, yes, but not running, because it's not for me. And do you do a training split or just full body? Generally, I'll train full body every session because I just prefer to. I don't need to hit all upper or lower or all push or all pull days at the moment, because of my goals are still obviously weight loss driven, and I think hitting bigger muscle groups more often is going to burn more calories, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn naturally. If it wasn't for IVF requirements, do you think you would have gone on a weight loss journey? I can't say that I wouldn't have, because I've been trying to lose weight my entire life, like I said earlier. So I probably would have gone on diets and I probably would have tried to lose weight, but would my results have ever been the same? I really don't think they would have been. I really don't think I would have ever got this far if it wasn't for this journey particularly. Were you strict, or did you sometimes slipped up? And that's fine, because we're human. Posted on Instagram today about being human. Yes, got very drunk on Tuesday night, hungover as hell on Wednesday, cancelled my PT session, ordered Domino's and fell asleep at 7 p.m. We're all human, it's fine. Do you have any special PCOS weight loss tips? I'm struggling. Honestly, for me, I'm not gonna say this works for everyone because I don't know, but cutting carbs helped me. I never cut gluten, I never cut dairy, but cutting the carbs really did help me. How much weight have you lost and how long did it take? So I'm just over 4 stone off now, which is good. And it's taken me 18 months because I've not been completely consistent the whole entire time. What was the hardest part of it all? Like I said earlier, was just kind of, if I stop or if I slow down, picking up the motivation to go on again, do you know what I mean? Or like feeling a bit like, when will this ever end? Like, when will this diet ever end? When will I be able to eat like everybody else? Or when will I be able to go out for food and not have to worry about gaining 5 pounds or whatever? Yeah, that's like the hardest part, and I still have those feelings, but I'm learning. I'm learning myself still. It's still all new to me, really, this way of life, you know. What is your favourite and least favourite exercise? That's a tough one. We did burpee with a dumbbell snatch, and that was pretty brutal. That was an EMOM, so I had to do 6 reps every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. That was pretty grim. My favourite exercise, I'd say it's the squat. I think because I couldn't do it for so long because of my knee surgeries and broken leg and everything else, it's like fast becoming my favourite. And I actually really enjoy bench pressing too. I'm pretty good at that for a girl, I think, considering that's a relatively new exercise for me, because obviously it was not something that I knew how to do before, or I never would have trained on my own or whatever. So yeah, maybe those today. What diet are you following to lose weight, and how did you stay motivated and fight cravings? Not following any diet, I'm just in a calorie deficit. How did you stay motivated? Again, just wanting a baby and then wanting to hit my goals after that. Fighting cravings, I mean, I don't really. I think if I want something, I'll just make sure it fits in my day. You know, if I want sausage and mash for tea, I'll put that in my day first and then work backwards to know what I can have for the rest of the day, because there's no point having something you want after eating, you know, normally all day and you've got no calories left for it. Do you know what I mean? Or have it on your cheat meal. Did you follow anything that was PCOS specific? Love your page. No, I didn't, but like I said, reducing carbs definitely helped. And that is all of them. Let me check, let me just check. Oh, new one's just come through. What kind of eating plan have you done? Slimming well, calorie count, etc. Yeah, back to that is calorie counting. Thank you so much for all the questions. I hope that's been useful and helpful and insightful and answered all your questions. But feel free to drop me a message anytime if you have any more questions, or if you want any more info, or if you want any more videos on this. Leave me a leave me a like, drop a comment down below, make sure you're subscribed to my channel with the notifications turned on, and I will see you on the next one.